Hey, what's going on, guys? Here with another episode. Do what you love and love what you do. Here with a good friend of mine, a brother of mine, Trey Scruggs. And I'm here today, man, introducing the world to Prospect Playground, man. And man, we talk just about every day now. We talk about our dreams and goals and using our platforms to impact these kids. Met you a while back. Matter of fact, I was a coach at one of your events.
Absolutely.
And so it always comes full circle to me. Oh. And ever since we reconnected down here in Richmond, Virginia, man, we've been 10 toes down and making things happen for these kids. So without further ado, we got Coach Scruggs here. And just start off with your background. Yeah. Man, you're affiliated with Coach Squire.
Yeah.
So you've been in the game for a very long time.
For sure.
So tell us a little bit about, how you got going, and then, why you started Prospect Playground now, why it take you so long now.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate the intro, Coach. Trey Scruggs, CEO, founder of Prospect Playground, which is basically an N.I.L agency, player representation to be specific. I just kind of use, N.I.L agency because that's the new trendy topic,
right.
trendy term, right? But basically, man, I'm just an advocate for student athletes. I want student athletes to get everything they can get out of whatever sport it is that they play. And so now in today's era, NIL or name, image, and likeness is a real thing. So as far as me and my background, I got into grassroots basketball, like you mentioned, under Coach Tony Squire's Richmond. We've had a lot of high-level talent come through there. Some names like Mike Benajay, Justin Anderson, Quincy Miller, Brad Byerson, hometown kid, him and his brothers ended up playing at Union. So I come from an environment of high-level athletes and student athletes who have, seen success at multiple levels. Did that for about 10 years. Actually started when I was a sophomore at Virginia State University, Hale State. That's when I got into grassroots, and I was 19 years old, coaching 14-year-olds. Loading up a van, going across the country, which now is wild to me as a parent. I couldn't imagine letting my kid jump in a van with basically a kid at the time. So I've spent, half my life around grassroots basketball. I did Squires for 10 years. That's how I cut my teeth. Shout out to Tony Squire, man, local legend, national legend, pillar in the community. And then once I stopped doing that, I settled down, started to, start my family, got married, started my family, and I couldn't rip and run the road like we do, right? So I started a company based out of North Carolina with my business partner, Coach Lamont Taylor. Shout out Lamont. Did get me recruited 10 years, actually 12 years, where that was also high-level basketball. Some names that have come to our camps in Carolina that y'all might know. We got Rob Dillingham, Dennis Smith Jr., Bam Adebayo, Kobe White, who's with the Hornets now, Grant Williams, who's also with the Hornets. And that's just the boys' side, Coach.
Right.
Girls' side, household names like Malaysia Fulwiley, Joyce Edwards, Zanaya Williams.
Did Angel come one year?
Angel didn't come one year. What happened is we saw Angel at an event, and we did some write-ups on her. We talked to her, threw her in the Get Me Recruited T-shirt, and she's been family ever since. But she actually didn't make it due to schedule conflicts. I think matter of fact, on one of our weekends she had an AAU tournament. So you know how that goes.
Right.
But I say all that to say, not to brag, but I have a keen eye for talent at an early age. It's just something different that players have to have at a young age that say, okay, that's it. That's it. And then it's up to us as the adults to nurture that, to support that, to water that, and help that grow. And that's how, we've seen kids get to the next level.
Yeah. So again, do what you love what you do. Where does the passion come from, Coach?
Man.
Where does the passion come from? Because we both know we're not doing it for the bread.
Correct.
Right now.
Right.
Of course, we get paid for different events that we do and things like that. But just the daily grind. You know what I'm saying? It's not financially beneficial to us currently.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, why do you keep going? I mean, what's the point at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't got any big time clients.
Correct.
So what, why are you doing it?
Right. I mean, I think you said it, it's the passion. But furthermore, or more specifically, it's the passion to make sure that our community has the information and the knowledge that it takes to set our youth up for success. And actually, one of my good friends, he said something to me one time, Coach. We were doing an event, and we were just talking. He got 4 boys, and he was like, "I'm gonna do my part for the city because my kids got to grow up in this area." And so it kind of hit in a different way, and it's like, damn, like, yeah, we all got to really do our part to make our community a better place, to make our country a better place, and to make our world a better place. And so because of my history in this particular space, and the knowledge that I've gained, I feel obligated to pass that information along and share that knowledge, because it's a lot of information. If you don't know what you're looking for, what you're listening to, it just sounds like a bunch of unattainable, unreachable goals.
Yeah.
But like I tell most of my players that I work with and their parents, especially for kids who are just getting into high school, if you go into high school with a 4-year plan, 4 years is a long time to work that plan.
Right.
But if you go in blind without the knowledge, without the information, then it's quit. Right. 4 years gone, you look up, you're a senior, you ain't got no looks, you ain't got no offers, you ain't got nothing. So my passion comes from just wanting to make sure that, and I'll just be frank, the game of basketball is a majority minority sport, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to have information, I don't want to gatekeep it, to have, the direction and the path and the ability to navigate this space. I don't want to hold on to that for myself. It's my duty, it's my responsibility, and really it's my purpose,
right,
to share.
Man, that's awesome. I think we got the Nike camp going on this week at Meadowbrook High School, the 3rd year. Shout out to Jarrell Christian, associate head coach for the Seattle Storm, who helped me start this camp.
Yeah.
And we got a good bunch of kids, great man. Group. Like you said, for the community, man. It's like, man, even though I'll be tired every day coming home, doing it for literally, pennies.
Yeah.
Man, it's just seeing these kids every day and the different types of kids,
right,
that are coming that
right,
may not come to this side of town.
Correct.
And the emails that we getting saying the parents, they're loving it, making new friends. It's just been awesome to experience that for the 3rd year. And so I understand when you say passion and purpose. That's the only reason I'm still at where I'm at.
Yeah,
I'm saying? Shout out to Meadowbrook High School, giving me the opportunity to do that, because I'm a community person,
100%.
right? And that's why I do it, because it's in my heart. It's the first community I moved into when I moved out here and fell in love with the community. Right. So
and let me not to cut you off, man, but I just want to give you your flowers and your kudos, because you've been here every week in the month of June for a different type of camp. Whether it's a basketball camp, whether it's an all sports camp. I believe you had the kids cooking one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, those types of things don't go unnoticed, Coach, because what we got to do as a community is we all, again, have to do our part. So for you to be here Monday through Thursday or Friday every week since school let out, on top of the fact that you're a teacher and a coach. So when school let out on May 31st, you went right into a whole series of camps for other people's kids. And see, it's things like that we got to do to, one, make sure the kids not on the streets getting into some trouble that they don't need to get into, and 2, that they can actually learn something while they're on summer break. And that's important. And they're not just, AAU 100% of the time, or playing AAU games and traveling 100% of the time. They can just actually come here and still be a kid while honing their skills, while having fun. So, man, salute to you for that.
Man, I appreciate it. I'm gonna ask you a couple of more questions.
Yeah.
Man, what are you telling these parents? So I'm dealing with, as a high school head coach, right? Knowing that parents really don't know what to do.
No idea.
Right.
Right.
And I find myself helping a lot of kids that I may not have the opportunity to coach. And I got to link them with people like you, and companies like you, and services like you, to help them navigate the next high school, right? It's
Correct.
the high school part. We're not even talking about college,
Right.
right? Because that's a small percentage is going to play at the next level.
Mm-hmm.
But the education, like you said,
Right.
is not being given to these student athletes on, if I do want to become a college athlete, I need to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So what are the first steps? Are you telling these parents going into freshman, maybe it started freshman year, going into high school? I want my child to play college basketball.
Okay.
Well, or any college sport. What are you telling them?
Well, it's funny because I don't tell them anything. I always start with a question. And my first question to any parent who says they want their child to play college basketball is, do you have to get them up in the morning to go to the gym? Do you have to make them go to workouts? These are the questions that I'm asking, because at that point I'm assessing if your kid even has the potential, right? Or I'd rather say the desire, because most kids have the potential depending on what type of work ethic they have. But it starts with a desire. Like, your parent can't want it more than you.
Right.
And I think that that's kind of what's happening. And you see it play out at AAU tournaments. You see it play out at high school games. And, look, I love everybody, but sometimes the parents really be acting up. And so I try to first understand and assess what type of dynamic we got here. Like, do you as the parent want it more than your child? Because if so, then yeah, that's probably not gonna work.
Yeah, ain't gonna work.
That's not gonna work, because you're gonna burn them out. I've experienced it, like, personally within my family, where the parents wanted it more than the player, and it can cause some issues. But to your other point, what I do tell them is that, I mean, this is a decision. This is a family decision that you're making to try and aspire to make it to the next level. Why? Because kid got to understand, hey, even small details, like, where do you want to live for 4 years? You know what I'm saying? Unless you like that, where you can do one and done.
Right,
but where do you want to live geographically for the next 4 years? It's just decisions as small as that they got to make as a family. If I'm mom, am I okay with my baby being X amount of miles away from me?
Right.
A lot of parents now don't even want their kids to go to prep school and leave home and go to a prep school situation that will help them better themselves, as a man or a woman, and then a student athlete. They don't even want them to leave home for that. So it's just more so the conversation with the parents about what really are the goals.
Yeah.
And then we have to have a realistic assessment and a realistic expectation, because it's a lot of work to get to the next level, no matter the level.
No matter the level, no matter the sport.
Correct.
Very small percentage.
Yep.
Get the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
And what frustrates me the most is when I see talented athletes, especially in this NIL era, not understanding that, hey, if I could commit to putting in the work for X amount of years, 2 years, 3 years, next 2 years, it'll separate me from my peers, and I can get the bag for my family. But yet we still have some student athletes who don't have that, what you said, that desire or work. How frustrating is that when you run across kids like that?
It's extremely frustrating, because the unfortunate part is, and it's gonna sound cliche, but what they say is, like, hard work beats talent any day.
When talent don't work hard.
When talent don't work hard. That's a true statement, because what's frustrating is your talent is gonna only get you but so far. It's the sacrifice and the hard work that actually gets you to the next level. I'll give you a recent example. AJ DiBonasta. I might have pronounced his name wrong, but y'all, number 1 pick in the draft. He skipped prom, junior and senior prom, to go to the gym and work. You know what I'm saying? And how many kids today here, especially in our network, in our area, that's willing to do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then how many, parents might say, nah, baby, you're not going to skip your prom to go play some basketball.
Oh, I've experienced it.
You've experienced it, right? But now AJ, number 1 pick in the draft.
Miss college workouts.
Come on, man.
Miss college workouts. We got prom pictures.
Exactly. Or an AAU tournament that don't matter. So it's just one of those things where, if you're willing to make the sacrifice, take it back, as a family, then you will increase your chances to actually make it to the next level. But if you ain't willing to sacrifice, then you won't see that much success. And that's just a life lesson, not even just sports.
Yeah, I like what Jalen Brunson said. He was like, his dad gave him 3 choices.
Yeah.
You know, it was books,
Uh-huh.
social life, or basketball. 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
You can't have all 3.
So he had to sacrifice one, right?
Yeah, sacrifice one.
And he let the social go.
Let the social go. And
Correct.
I think I'm holding on that.
Yeah.
To, you know, that's what I'm going to tell my guys.
Yeah.
If we want to win, we want to accomplish these goals, right? It starts now with the off-season program. Like high school's going a year round now, right? You know, college coaches are playing 2-sport athletes are coming back around. At one point it was, you know, one sport, but now 2-sport athletes are coming back around because college coaches want to see the dedication, the work, the commitment. And so I think that's, you know, that's changing again. All right, we're going to get out of here, guys. I definitely want you guys to follow Prospect Playground on Instagram and all social media. Yeah. Hey, but look, Coach, before we get out, right? And can you really just, if you had 30 seconds to explain NIL?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, somebody like me that may not know NIL is.
Okay.
What is NIL?
NIL, or name, image, and likeness, is NIL actually isn't the thing. And what I mean by that is building a brand, right? So NIL was just basically building a brand. Whether you got a small business, a big business, when you talk about name, image, and likeness, it's getting to know, like, and trust a brand. So you use your favorite, you know, your favorite soap or your favorite toothpaste. You know, there's brands that you guys, you know, that everybody uses because they know it, they like it, and they trust it. Now student athletes are the new influencers. They have influence over everybody because everybody wants to be the next Jordan, the next LeBron, the next Sabrina Ionesco. So NIL is basically taking advantage or capitalizing off of that influence. So give you an example. You come to a basketball game, your star player at Meadowbrook got the whole crowd wearing T-shirts with his face on it.
Right.
That's NIL. Because once I leave this game, after I drop 20, I'm gonna go try to sell 100 T-shirts on my website. So it's just really owning your brand as a student athlete, and then leveraging your name, image, and likeness to make money.
Man, that's crazy. That's a whole nother podcast talking about your brand, protecting your brand. Me and you talk about all the time when we do events.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the only thing matters is your brand. So right now, the brand for student athletes is your character, your name, how you treat people, what people say about you, despite, well, I don't care what nobody say about me. Yes, you do. Yeah. What people say about you are your character, your teachers, and how you treat people.
Yeah.
All right? That's your brand. That's your character. That's your NIL, right? Because like you said, companies want to use those likable faces, likable charisma,
coachable,
coachable things that they can put in front of the camera for their product, and that might be you. It might be you. So
and look, before you get out of here, here's the cheat code, Coach, because the same concept that it takes to get recruited by a college is the exact same concept that it takes to get an NIL deal. It's the same. They are parallel.
So I don't even have to be you telling me I don't have to be a 5-star, 4-star, or even a 3-star to get an NIL
deal? You do
deal?
not. You just have to have influence. You got to make sure your content's right. And I always tell parents,
commentator, character,
both, both, because the kids don't do content; they are the content. They are the content.
Right.
So if I'm a good character kid, if I'm a coachable kid, and I'm good on the court or the field, that's a trifecta.
Yeah.
So now I'm brandable, now I'm recruitable, and now I can potentially get an NIL deal.
Wow.
And look, so for more information, I want everybody that's watching to go to the link in my bio, Coach Trey _11 on Instagram, and get your tickets for the NIL experience that's happening right here in Richmond, Virginia, downtown Richmond on July 22nd.
All right. We out. Do what you love, what you do. With my boy, Coach Scruggs.
Yes, sir.
Peace.